Good morning, student. I am Suraj Kumar, your geography teacher. In the last class, we had finished this chapter 2 of Part B book. We already had read about all the features promoting the employment rate. Okay, composition of working population. We had seen this topic in the last class. Let's start some objective questions. Some discussion of objective questions. See it here is on your screen. This is multiple choice objective question. Number 1 is India's population as per 2011 census. So as we all knows that India's population according to 2011 census is 121 crore. So D option is correct here. 1210 million. Okay. Then the next question is, which one of the following state has the highest density of population in India? So as we all know that Bihar is the state in India having a highest density. So Bihar is not among the 4 options given over here. So second highest is West Bengal. So West Bengal is the correct answer to this question. Okay, now the third question is all about which one of the following state has the highest proportion of urban population in India according to 2011 census. Is asking about highest proportion of urban population. सबसे ज़्यादा urbanization किस state में out of these 4 states? So for that we need to look, as I already said in the last class, we need to look at the appendix. All the statistical data related with census is given in appendix, and for urban and rural population percentage wise or composition by wise or absolute number wise, it is given under appendix 4. So just watch it. I am showing it here. This is appendix 3. Okay, so it's not under appendix 4, it's under appendix 3. So here you can see it. This is besides the end of your big book. You need to look at the last part of the book where there you will find this appendix. So you need to see the data from these appendix. Under this appendix 3, it is given about rural and urban population 2011. So here you can see it. Name of the state is there. Population in absolute number. Rural population, urban population of India and different states of India. And then the last column is about the percentage of urban population. So question is there, which Indian states among the given 4 has the highest percentage of urban population? The name of the states are, see it here. Tamil Nadu is there, Kerala is there. Tamil Nadu number 33, Kerala number 32. Percentage is Tamil Nadu 48.45% of the population are urban. So 48% of the Tamil Nadu population lie in urban area or urbanized. Same way Kerala having 47.72. So these both of these states are having similar number. Then the one option is Goa number 30. See the Goa. Goa is about 62% of the Goa is urbanized. More than 62% of the Goa lies in urban area. Okay, and the last option is Maharashtra. Maharashtra is let's see. Maharashtra is at 27th number. You can see it. Maharashtra population composition is around 45%. So out of the 4 options given under this question, Goa is the correct answer with 62% of urbanization. Okay, you can see it here. Few of the states like number 7 NCT Delhi are having 97%, more than 97% of urbanization. Same way, Chandigarh number 4 are having very nearer to Delhi figure. It is also approximately 97.25% of urbanization. So there are few UTs in India which are having even more urbanization, but out of all the major states, Goa is at the first position. And second position is Mizoram. See 15th number. 15th number is Mizoram, and Mizoram are having 51.5% of urbanization. So this way, if any question is asked based on stats or the census, you need to look at these appendix. This is appendix number 3. Same way you will find some other appendix also. Appendix 2 is about decadal growth rate, death rate, rate of natural increase, these things. Appendix 1 is there. It is all about state-wise population distribution, density of growth. Here you will get the name of the state, total population, national share means to in percentage term, state-wise data, then density of population, national and state-wise decadal growth rate of population. So all these data of census 2011 are shared under this appendix, and these appendix are towards the end of your book. So it is given in your book itself towards the end of your book. So now I hope that you can easily find out questions based on data. मैंने कहीं कहीं मैप बेस्ड भी क्वेश्चन पूछा है, तो इन डेटा को आपको कंपेयर करके यू नीड टू प्लेस इट ओवर द मैप. और मैप जो है ना, हो सकता है मे बी इन दिस टफ टाइम ऑफ कोरोना you don't have outline map of India, so try to make it on your notebook itself. So एक अंदाज से आप एवरेज मैप बनाएं and try to look at these point on that map. You need to have a practice of making such maps. So वो भी चीज मैं बताऊंगा कि कैसे आपको मैप ड्रॉ करना है. बट हियर जो भी मैप बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है उसके लिए ये आर्गुमेंट आप प्लीज न दें कि वी डोंट हैव मैप राइट नाउ. जस्ट ट्राई टू मेक इट बाय योरसेल्फ ऑन द नोटबुक. एक अंदाज से बनाइए, एग्जैक्ट नहीं, टाइम वेस्ट ज़्यादा मत करिएगा. अंदाज से आप स्पीडली बनाइए एंड प्लॉट दिस पॉइंट ओवर देयर. देन फ्यू ऑफ द क्वेश्चन आई आस्क्ड अबाउट द बार ग्राफ्स, पाई चार्ट. सो दीज आर द पार्ट ऑफ practical geography workbook. So part 3 book, there is 3 book, part A, part B and part 3. Part 3 book, part C book is all about your practical workbook. And as you are the student of class 12, it is very important that you will learn about how to make maps, how to make pie chart, how to make bar graph, multiple bar graph. These things are histogram. These things are very important in point of view of your practical examination, which comprises of 30 marks. तो ये चीज़ें ज़रूरी हैं. तो बार ग्राफ जब मैं दूं तो जस्ट ट्राई टू प्लॉट इट. यहाँ पे आपको सीखना होगा, और अगर नहीं होगा देन आफ्टर द ओपनिंग ऑफ द स्कूल आई विल टुक फ्यू ऑफ द क्लासेस वेयर आई विल डील विद द प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट. ओके, सो हाउ टू मेक पाई चार्ट, बार ग्राफ, मल्टीपल बार ग्राफ, हिस्टोग्राम, ये सारी चीज़ें बताएंगे वहाँ पे. और साथ ही साथ आपको मीन, मीडियन, मोड, स्टैट्स का भी थोड़ा पार्ट है. तो यू ऑल नीड टू लुक एट दीज थिंग्स फ्रॉम योर पार्ट सी वर्कबुक ऑफ ज्योग्राफी क्लास 12. आप वहाँ से इसको विजुअल की आप इसको देखिए और देख करके इसको पढ़ के लर्न करने की कोशिश कीजिए. ठीक है, अभी से थोड़ा थोड़ा काम करेंगे, देन यू विल गेट और यू विल अडेप्टेड बाय द टाइम ऑफ योर फाइनल एग्जामिनेशन. So this is important for you guys, especially class 12. Okay. Then the next question is about which one of the following is the largest linguistic group of India. So I already teaches the linguistic composition of India. Indo-Aryan is the answer. Okay. Indo-Aryan comprises approximately 71% of the लिंग्विस्टिक ग्रुप ऑफ इंडिया. So see the table above. Then there is a question, short question answers. You need to answer it in 30 words. Very hot and dry and very cold and wet region of India have low density of population. In this light, so this is a fact. So here in this question it has given this statement which is correct or which is fact in respect to India. Okay, and he is asking, in this light explain the role of climate on distribution of population. So you need to explain why it is so. So this is statement given. So ये आपका application based question है. You need to answer it from it is not directly given in your book. You need to apply it and answer it from your thoughts or knowledge. So you already read this chapter. If there is an issue, then reread it. Then you are able to do this question. So this question is all about very hot and very dry. That is the Rajasthan desert of Kutch. So he's saying that region, and very cold and wet region. Very cold is Ladakh part, Leh Ladakh region. Wet part is Mizoram, Cherrapunji, Mawsimram. So these area. So why these area are having a low density of population, and what are the role of climate in population distribution? So under the geographical factor, I already discussed these things. One of the geographical factor influencing the distribution of population is climate, and there you will get thing. So from there you need to apply it. Which states, second question is, which states have large rural population in India? So he is asking, which states have large rural population in India? Give one region for such large rural population. So rural urban composition, मैंने बार बार बोला है, few of the students have written the answer and submitted it. They are continuously writing the wrong answer related with rural urban composition of India. I also mentioned that on the page number 8 and 9 of the PDF uploaded by me, you will get it. So I answered them that reread it and try to do it. So this question is also related with that part. So I just want to say that which states have large rural population in India. So it is two states, Sikkim and Bihar, as already mentioned there, and you need to give the reason why these states are having a large rural population. This is only because these states are not industrialized region of India. They are mainly focusing over primary sector, that is agriculture based and the related activity. That's why in primary sector, if one work in a primary sector required more number of people. So more number of hands are the strength of the primary sector. So that's why these regions are not that much developed, and that's why there is much large rural population. So there is linkages, you can see it there, go there, reread it. I will also try to discuss at the end of this part. Third question, why do some states of India have higher rate of work participation than others? So why it is so? Why some states have higher rate of work participation than others? So I already mentioned in this book that only 40% of the population, according to 2011 census, only 40% of the India's population are engaged in working. That is only 40% of the workers are main and marginal workers. The rest 60% of India's population is non-workers. So this is indicating economic status of India, where large proportion of the population is dependent population. Okay. So here I already explained that some of the states are having a very moderate variation, that is from 40% in case of Goa to about 53% in case of Mizoram. It is saying that Goa and Mizoram has very minute or very moderate type of variation in terms of work participation rate, whereas some states like Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, etc., and some UTs like Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu have higher work participation rate. Why it is so? It is understood in the context in country like India as work participation rate tend to be higher in the area of lower level of economic development. तो जो स्टेट लोअर इकोनॉमिक लेस अर्बनाइजेशन होगा, जहाँ पे लोअर इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट होगा, वहाँ पे लोग जनरली जो वर्क करेंगे वो सबसिस्टेंस के लिए करेंगे. ठीक है. एंड इन केस ऑफ सबसिस्टेंस और नियर सबसिस्टेंस टाइप ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी, मैनुअल वर्कर्स आर नीडेड मोर, whereas in case of urbanized and industrialized area, there is more a requirement of a skilled worker, or the machines will do most of the work. So that's why some of the states which works in subsistence or near subsistence type of economic activity are having a more work participation rate as compared to some of the other states which are comparatively industrialized and urbanized. So I think that doubt is also cleared. You need to look it again and answer it again. Agriculture sector has the highest share of Indian workers. I already explained. Same way these questions are related. You need to look it from the part. From which part? From the part, especially from the part composition of working population. So see it from there. Now long answer questions, you need to write it in a 120 to 150 words. Discuss the spatial pattern of density of population in India. So this is already discussed many a times. A spatial pattern means area wise, region wise. So you need to draw the pattern, draw a map. You need to show the pattern from west to east or north to south, coastal regions, interior of the land, North Indian plains, mountainous region, hilly region. So you need to draw the pattern on the variation of population density. So you need to map also and write the details in words too. So this is already discussed many a time. This is very easy answer, very easy question. You need to answer it in 150 words. तो डिटेल में आप इसको लिखें. Now the second question is give an account of the occupational structure of India's population. I am discussing same here. Some states, in some states, more number of working population works in primary sector or subsistence and near subsistence activity. In some states they are urbanized or industrialized, so there are more number of people are engaged in manufacturing other and service industry. So there are huge variation. So see the topic, reread it from the PDF and write it. So there is one major doubt from all the students who has deposited the answer, and that is about the rural urban population composition. Okay, so I am just discussing it. Population composition में rural urban composition. So there is doubt. So I just want to discuss it again. That see it. Population composition is a distinct field of study within population geography with a vast coverage of analysis of age and sex, place of residence, ethnic characteristics, tribes, language, religion, marital status, literacy, education, occupational characteristics, etc. So it's saying that different regions, population of different regions have different type of distinguished composition. So people of different region are distinguished on the basis of ages, sex, male, female, or more number of male, more number of females, places of residence. People are born in urban area or the rural area, ethnic characteristics, that people used to speak up, which type of languages they are from, which language family group, tribes, languages, religion, marital status, and these things we discussed in short in this chapter 2. The next chapter which we are going to start is from part A book, chapter number 3. This is also based on population composition. Here we will firstly start about the sex ratio and sex composition. So this is extension to this topic. Next chapter which we are going to start is the extension to this topic itself. So that's why I am again revising this topic so that your doubt is cleared. Okay. So see it here. The composition of population and their respective places of residence is an important indicator of the social and economic characteristics. How it is so? Why it is so? It is because the places of residence, that is the people are lying in the urban area or the rural area, will define the economic and social status of the family and the people living in these area, especially in a country like India. Maybe in case of developed country of Europe, rural area is also same type of living conditions, but in a country like India, the people condition, the people way of living, the people citizens lifestyle is determined by the place of residence. If people are living in an urban area, they are finding it a more economic, more earning or more income because of enhanced economic development in those areas, or people may enjoy improvement in health and hygiene condition. So urban area are having a more opportunity in terms of economic development or in terms of income, as well as the urban areas also providing a better health and hygiene condition to the people, better lifestyle, better way of living. So that's why it is an important indicator, especially in a country like India. If you are staying in urban area, that means you are enjoying these things. If you are staying in the rural area, that means you are little bit of the mark from the mainstream of society. You are little bit backward type. Okay. So rural urban composition is mainly dealing with these things itself. There are there is very lots of variation, like some of the states like Bihar and Sikkim are having a very high percentage of rural population, whereas some of the states like Goa and Maharashtra, as I already shown in appendix 3, that these states like Goa and Maharashtra are having a more than or approximately equal to 50% of their population, or more than 50% of their population residing in cities or urban area. So there is huge variation in states like Bihar and Sikkim. There is more than 90% of the population residing in village area or rural area, whereas states like Maharashtra and Goa are having more than 50 or near about 50% of the population living in urban area. So there is lots of variation. Same way there is variation in village size also. Some of the villages in hilly region of Himalaya, hilly states of Himalaya, or the desert area of Rajasthan and Kutch, and some areas, colder areas of Western Himalaya, rain feeding area of Karnataka are having a very less number of person living in a village. So there is huge variation in number of people defining a village. That is 200%. It starts from 200 persons living in a village defined as a village in the hilly state of northeastern India. Means even 200% staying in a particular area, that area is defined as a village in hilly northeastern state of India. So number of people varies from just 200 people to 17,000, nearly 17,000 persons in some of the states like Kerala. So some of the villages in Kerala are having more than 17,000 of people staying in that particular village. So there is huge variation. Some villages of India is defined for just 200 citizen or person, whereas some villages in Kerala is defined for even more than 17,000 of people. So there is huge variation state-wise, urban rural population and number of people staying in village too. Okay, so same way we can look at different part of Kerala and Maharashtra are having more number of people staying in the village area. Through a detailed examination of the pattern of distribution of rural population of India, it is revealed the government has or the census forming bodies have looked into this matter in detail, and through detailed examination of distribution of rural population, they revealed it that both the interstate and intrastate variation, the relative degree of urbanization and extent of rural urban migration regulates the concentration of rural population. So what it is so it is saying that in detailed examination it is found that there is variation between the village, means one village consists of 200%, some other village in some other state consists of 17,000 people. So this is inter variation. Intra village variation, within a village too there is variation in tolas or some sort of caste wise variation, that some area one type of dominant people or dominant caste resides and some other area of the village some other caste resides. So there is inter village variation and intra village variation, and these variation of inter village or intra village is reflected through a relative degree of urbanization and extent of rural urban migration mainly regulate these things. Means it is saying that the number of people migrating out of the villages or the degree of urbanization in near about the vicinity of the villages, which is acting as a pull factor, will regulate the concentration of the rural population in a particular state. So if there is employment opportunity lying to vicinity of the village area, people used to migrate out, and in long run this whole states having a more proportion or percentage of rural population, with time slightly converting into a urban state or more concentration of urban state. So उस एरिया में क्या कोई ऐसा इंडस्ट्रियल एक्टिविटी चल रहा है, कोई ऐसा स्टेट है जहाँ में बहुत ज़्यादा अर्बनाइज एरिया है, सो धीरे धीरे कोई अर्बनाइज सेंटर डेवलप हो रहा है, इंडस्ट्रियलाइज सिटी डेवलप हो रहा है, ये सारी चीज़ें धीरे धीरे टाइम के साथ चेंज करती है लोगों को माइग्रेट आउट करने के लिए इन सर्च ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट, इन सर्च ऑफ बेटर amenity in search of better lifestyle, and that's why degree of uh, unurbanization or degree of rural area or the degree of with the increase in degree of urbanization, the percentage of urban population is increasing, and these states are slightly with time converting into urbanized states. So these are the factors. Some other factors also includes that some states are having only one type of employment opportunity in terms of agriculture only, like the states of Bihar or some states of Andhra Pradesh, or there are lots of states which are having a having no option of urbanization or the industrialization, like a remote hilly villages, tribal area, or flood prone area of the peninsular India. These some part of the Madhya Pradesh. Here these areas are prone to different problems, and they are mostly a urban type of they are mostly a agriculture type of economy, and that's why, because these economies are mainly based on these economies are mainly based on these economies are mainly based on subsistence and near subsistence economic activity. So that's why in these states degree of urbanization is comparatively lesser as compared to other states where there is a huge option or huge potential of developing industries. There is potential of urbanization, potential of industrialization, or there is mega cities like Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, Mysore, Madurai, Coimbatore, Ahmedabad, Surat. These are the mega cities which are having a very huge pull factor. That's why they pulled out people towards these cities. The crossroad or the cross rail lines near about these cities also pulls lots of people. Highways surrounding these mega cities, and then again super highways, the extension of city happening day by day, and this way whole city is turning into the mega city is even expanding very rapidly, and this way these states which are having such kind of options are turning into a urbanized states from a rural state. So this is all about rural urban composition. So whoever have problem in answering this question number 3, question number 2, short answer question number 2, which states have large rural population in India? Give one reason for such large rural population. And the question given under assignment in the Google Classroom, that question number 1 shows the recent trend of rural urban population composition in India. This question is also deals with the given discussion. All of you whoever has given me the submitted me the answer are not able to answer this question. That's why I discussed this topic. You need to relook it, and in the next class I will start with the same topic, that is population composition. This chapter is chapter 3 of part A book, and here we will start with sex composition, sex ratio, and these things. So I just want to introduce this chapter, just a brief introduction, then we will stop this class and we will look it in next class. People of any country are diverse in many respects. So you can't say that all the people or any country means in any country of the world you will get same type of people all the places. So there is very minute diversity, there is very big diversity. You can easily segregate that these people are this kind of and these people are other type of. So that differentiation is based on some of the main features like people were distinguished on the features like age, means this state are having a older population more in number as comparison to the some other states which are having a younger type of population, or sex, this state are having a positive sex ratio, or some other states are having a less number of females as comparison to the male, or the negative sex ratio. Then place of residence, as I already discussed, rural urban composition of area, that is distinguished between more number of urbanization or less number of urbanization. Same way, some of the states or some of the people were distinguished on the basis of their occupation or work culture, that I also discussed here in itself. We will see it in detail in this chapter. Then education, based on education, some states are having more literacy, some states are having comparatively lesser literacy. Then life expectancy, some states are having a better medical facilities, so that's why people used to live long in some area, or some states are having very less life expectancy. All these things we will see under this chapter, population composition, in detail. So this is a chapter 3, unit 2 of your part A book. We will see here sex composition firstly. There we will see about the sex ratio. So number of males per thousand females. In few of the country of the world, the sex ratio is computed using the formula male population divided by female population into 1000. It is defining in favor of number of males per thousand females. But in major or the more number of countries of India, more number of countries like India, especially in case of India, we define not in this way. We have some other way of defining sex ratio. We defines it using female population divided by male population into 1000, that is number of females per thousand males. Instead of number of males per thousand female, we used to define it in number of females per thousand males. So we will look at these things in detail in the next class. Till that, just try to read it. This chapter we are going to start it in next class. Bye bye. See you. If you have any doubt, you just place the assignment and comment it there that your doubt is clear or not. This class is especially about the doubt session. Few of the students are publishing or submitting assignment, and they had submitted assignment twice, same assignment twice and thrice, but even then they are not able to correct it. That's why especially I made made this video to clear all their doubts regarding mainly especially population composition, rural urban population. Besides that, I also discussed question answer of this last chapter 1 part B book, which we need to discuss as we finish the before class at the in topic itself, and we did not discuss the question over there. That's why I discussed it here. So this is all about doubt session. Be ready. See you in the next class with population composition. Bye bye.